Hi there, Bryce Holdaway here, co-host of Location Australia and Director of Empower Wealth. I bought my first investment property back in 1999 and I paid $199,940 for a 3-bedroom apartment in the Perth suburb of Victoria Park. Now I must admit at the time I was really nervous once I'd paid that amount of money because the median price at the time was about $158,000. Now, as I look back, it seems quite silly that I was nervous, but whenever you're buying an investment property, particularly the first one, it's a very, very steep learning curve. And to be honest, it's really hard to pull all the information together to know exactly what you need to do. Now, I think I've stumbled across what I believe is the property investment formula, and I'm going to share that with you in this video. It's 4 parts that you need to master. But I think the opportunity that I love about residential real estate is there's an opportunity to create a passive income for life, debt-free, using property as a vehicle with as little as 3, maybe 4 or 5 investment properties. Because I think it's easy to think that you need to have 10 properties, 20 properties, 50 properties to make it work. But the answer is that you actually don't need that many. But there is a problem. I've gone to the ATO and I've asked how many property investors are there actually in the marketplace. And interestingly, of a very small percentage of the population that actually do invest in property, a very large percentage of them stop at 1 investment property. I found that really interesting because although buying 1 investment property is better than doing nothing, chances are you're not going to achieve a passive income from buying just 1. So I had to look into it and see why I thought that people were actually stopping at 1. And to be honest, I think it's probably because a number of things, but it's quite a scary process to invest in property when you feel like you're all alone and don't really have a formula to follow. So as I said at the top of this video, I believe that there is a formula that you need to follow, and I think it's mastering 4 parts. It's the A, B, C, D of property investment. And you get all 4 of these right, chances are building a property portfolio will be quite straightforward and quite simple for you to do. So what does A stand for? Asset selection. You've got to get the property right. And with over 9.4 million dwellings in this country, over 15,000 plus suburbs, 2,500 new properties coming onto the market each and every week, the question I ask you is, which one do you choose? Because not all suburbs are investment grade. And of the investment grade suburbs, not all properties in that suburb actually make for a great investment. So just because you know how to choose a property to live in doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to choose a property to invest in. So the first one is asset selection. B is borrowing power. And I think this is marginally less important than getting the right property, because if you can get finance right, chances are you will set yourself up for a portfolio that's very, very easy to build. And I think finance is a bit like a game of chess. You need to be thinking 2 or 3 moves in advance. Well, when you're building a property portfolio, you need to be thinking 2 or 3 loans in advance. So it's not about interest rates and establishment costs. It's about structure. It's about interest saved over the life of the loan. It's about flexibility. It's about standalone loans. And it's about avoiding cross-securitise or cross-collateralisation. So they're really important things to know, but not every banker is going to show you exactly how to do it. And I would say that you probably need to be talking with an investment-savvy mortgage broker who understands structure, who has opportunity to talk to numerous lenders to help you set up the portfolio that you're looking for. So that's the A and the B. The C is cash flow management. And I think this is probably one of the hardest things to do, because it's easy to work out the budget for your household money movements, and it's quite straightforward to work out how much an investment property is going to cost you each year, because there's lots of software out there that will do that. But getting the two to talk is actually the really hard part. And in my experience, having done this for over 16 years, getting that part of the equation to mesh is really, really probably the biggest challenge, because you're not just buying an investment property, you're not just running a household budget, you need to combine the two. You need to combine renovations on the kitchen. You need to combine paying for school fees for the kids. You need to combine how you're going to take an annual holiday each year, as well as paying the interest and getting the rates paid on your investment properties. So C is cash flow management. It's an area that's really important, something that you really need to master. And D is for defense, because previously I thought it was all about the A, B, C, but now the D is really, really crucial. And that's about protecting two things. One is the asset, maybe building insurance or landlord's protection insurance. But the other thing is protecting you as the income owner, which is really crucial to building this property portfolio. And it's really the domain of a financial planner. So you need to talk to someone who's licensed to be able to give you this advice. But just to give you an example, recently I received an email from a client who really did underestimate the value of D, but doesn't underestimate it anymore. Here's what he said. About 3 years ago, a colleague developed multiple sclerosis and hasn't worked since. As a result, I sorted my stuff out. I increased my super, I bolstered my life insurance and my total permanent disability and got a solicitor to draft up a will. I also took out income protection insurance. Had the above not happened to a colleague at work, I don't think I would have done it. Then 7 weeks ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. Fortunately, post a few surgeries and now undergoing chemo, things will hopefully be okay. That D is critical advice, yet one that many ignore. It's a hard sell, as I was one of those ones who said it would never happen to me, but it doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone. So again, you need to talk to an experienced financial planner to help you with that particular part of it. But it's important to understand that you go through all of this effort to build the portfolio, and then it's important to make sure that you do have that defense in place. So there you have it. There's the 4 areas that I believe that you need to master to build a successful property portfolio, the A, B, C, D of property investment. Now in the next video, I'm going to talk to you about how to create a passive income. It's going to combine those 4 areas, but it's also going to give you 5 steps that you need to follow, whether you're a first-time investor or whether you're an experienced portfolio builder, that'll help you achieve what you're looking to achieve with property investment. So keep an eye out for that next video. I look forward to seeing you then.